Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be focusing on shafts. Now I've recently been up to Woburn for a fitting for the new TSR driver, and if you haven't checked out that video make sure you do, because it has a kind of knock on to this video. And in that video we were fitted into this driver, which is the TSR2 with a graphite design shaft in it, and I said in that video that we would be talking about that process in this video. I've also got two other shafts here that we went through during that fitting, so I thought we'd head back to now Woburn to see how that fitting went and then come back to the studio here at Churston to give you some more numbers. Let's get to Woburn. What do we got?
Okay, so we're going back to the two head, made a couple of little adjustments to see if we can just maximise its potential for you. First of all is an updated shaft change from your Tensei white raw there to the 1K black, same setup, 65S. We'll see how you like the feel in that performance. In the head, we've still got the 9-degree head, yeah, but all I've done is just take it down a little bit and loft. Okay, so that'll do a couple of things. It might just drop the spin a little bit, so we might sneak a little bit more in terms of yardage. The other thing is, if we've been worried about that left miss going down and loft, it will open the face fractionally as well, so that obviously might play to your advantage as well.
Okay, I can almost feel like I can be a bit more aggressive down the right hand side with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Felt good, lower in flight, and it felt like that maybe the spin had dropped off a fraction, but let's see what Nick says.
Yeah, launch at 9, spin down there at 2100, so pretty much as we'd expect going down in loft. Yeah. So almost thinking about this setup for you here, Dan, given that we're in first week of August, you could almost play this driver in a couple of settings. In the summer where the fairways are firm and you're going to get a little bit more run, we could afford to maybe drop that spin a little bit as we drop the loft to drop the spin, and get a little bit more distance through the ground. Heading into maybe softer conditions, you could obviously just add a little bit more loft and play it a bit more through the air. Yeah. I think again, if you were at a time in your golf, if you were struggling with that left miss, like we'd obviously just crank the loft up a little bit there, keep you in the fairway a little bit more. So it's just really versatile, but it certainly performed how I'd expect to perform on that shot.
Healy. Not hurting me though, is it? I'm trying to work out if I feel anything different in the shaft. Yeah. You know? It's not a major shift. Can we just pop that old shaft back in there again? I don't know. Yeah. Why? It
is strong, this one.
Is it?
Yep. And again, it is. You'll see a lot of guys using that are potentially trying to just lower the flight and lower the spin.
Yeah. It feels like I'm having to really work it to get it in the air, and that's maybe why I'm flipping my hands at it, and it's maybe turning it over a fraction.
It's back.
Doesn't need much, does it? Yeah.
Yeah,
so much better. So much better.
That 250, 280.
Yeah.
That's your sweet spot, isn't it?
Yeah. 154 ball speed. I mean, it's 2 miles an hour faster than what I'm normally getting. Still a fairway finder that. It's just down the left side. 2.5 in the spin. Carries up again.
One little adjustment to line angle here. Okay. The more shots that you've hit, the more I'm just seeing a move right to left. Yeah, let's just go.
Okay, so you've just got B1, so that's one of my old original settings actually, from previous fittings.
That's the one.
156 ball speed. I haven't had that since 2004.
It was a Wednesday as well, I remember.
It was a Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon. Little medal we played, remember?
I think that little adjustment there in the lie angle will perhaps help you as well.
I do as well.
But I think that loft setup, that shaft, you seem to relate really well to that one. The other one just seemed a little bit too strong, maybe.
Gone back to a slightly older shaft, the shaft that I was fitted for a little while ago. Obviously this is an updated version. Slightly lighter, 5 grams lighter than my shaft that I was fitted into recently.
That worked well.
Worked really well. How was that?
150, call it 154 ball speed, launched 10.5, 2500 spin, 253 for close to 280. You wouldn't be unhappy with that.
First impressions with that, it was like super stable.
Yeah, okay.
Like not a lot going on down the bottom, it felt. You're seeing like less shape.
Yeah, it's certainly held its line nicely, 250, 283, sort of constant theme there.
If we were walking away now, knowing that I've got that shaft made up already, I would say I'll take this one, and then it gives me the option down the line, because we know that was fitted and it goes well. However, this is obviously it's an old fitted shaft that I've had in the past that I did hit well for a period of time, but I just didn't have the stability in the head. I don't think feels very stable. What do you think, Bernie?
I initially like the flight. It seems to be less movement in it. I don't feel like you're going to lose it left for some reason. I don't know. I think almost your bad shot's going to be right, which is completely alien to what you normally play.
Hard to say. It feels, and I know it's only 5 grams difference between the 65 gram and the 60, but it does feel like it's just that little bit.
It's interesting though, your speed, puppet speed's way down, isn't it? With it?
There's a fraction, but the ball speed on average is down from where we have been.
Is it?
Yeah, but
By the day,
but when you look at carry in total, it's in a good spot, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the one thing for me, looking at that and looking at your sort of shot dispersion there, again, now we're seeing a few more right of that target line. I'd probably move from B1 back to A1.
Okay. We are dialing in, aren't we? Like, we are dialing. That's exactly where it felt as well.
Is it?
I don't know if it's because I'm getting used to the head now, but
And
that's exactly
why it's going to spin up a little bit more. But you've lost a fraction in your carry, a few yards, and then your total. But
I've hit target.
54. Yeah.
Just slightly short target. Hit it. Okay. Let's just try the other one then. The one that. So we're going, and this the AD range. Graphite Design.
Premium range.
They go up. That's where you go up a level in your charging point.
Yeah, absolutely. So normally, before we introduced premium in the TSI range, they would have been a significant surcharge. But having worked a lot closer with Graphite Design, we wanted to offer some extra shafts on top of that, and so that we've been able to order a lot more of those in, which obviously gives us the economy of scale to be able to offer them at a much reduced rate in terms of what we can get them for.
So Graphite Design, Tour AD Graphite Design.
UB up and beyond.
Up and beyond.
Up
Here
and
we go
beyond.
then. And that's 6.
So 6 in terms of the weight, close to 60 grams, and stiff flex. This complements the other Tour AD shafts that we have. The graphics you can see stand out nicely. It's really really appealing, I think.
Snazzy.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Not sure it goes with your pink GLA though, to be fair. No, not convinced.
It is up, and it is up. That's an interesting one.
Ball speed 155, 260 through the air for 284 total.
But this one's more expensive, Dan, so
You can't have it.
Go back to the other one.
It was your idea. It was your idea.
I only wanted you to hit hazardous. I didn't want you to hit this one. Well, that was like
Slight mishit. I feel like I lost a bit of ball speed because it was so high on the face.
I mean, for me, so certainly between your current shaft, the hazardous, and this one here, you know, talking a little bit about feel from your side of things, and then just looking at the dispersion, that would be my kind of reference from its performance. That one there, you can see that's hazardous, which is again, it's as small or as tight we can make that circle. Again that UB that you're in right there, there's not much to choose between them in terms of the dispersion.
So we've actually done a lot more testing than I actually envisaged doing. I've not been one to necessarily go down the sort of upgrade in shafts, sure, but it was worth a test today. The numbers have been good.
They have, absolutely. I think the performance we found in this combination of shaft and head, dialing in the head first of all, we obviously narrowed it down to the TSR2 model, yeah, the 9-degree head. We have played around with different lie settings, but then with this shaft setup, so the graphite design, the UB or the up and beyond, we actually saw a gain in club head speed, yeah, 1 mile an hour. More importantly, we saw a gain in ball speed up to 155 on average, yeah, which is fantastic. Spin numbers in a really good place, and we actually saw the ball flying higher and staying in the air longer, so increasing your carry, increasing your total distance.
I mean, up and beyond, that's exactly what we've been seeing.
Definitely, yeah.
What a difference. Very good.
Very good.
Like it. Very good. So a fantastic fitting at Woburn, going through all the different shafts, just having that conversation with Nick about how they're going to perform for me. And from my point of view, it's all about feel when it comes to fitting me into the right shaft. It's all about how that club feels. Can I feel the club head as I'm swinging that club down to the ball? And how is that ball performing off the club face and then continuing on with its flight? Well, since we've been back here at Churston, I've hit some balls in the studio with 3 of those shafts to see what numbers I'm getting after my visit to Woburn. And we're going to start off with the Tensei shaft to get us going. Now remember, this is the shaft that I was fitted into later on after the hazardous in the TSI 3. And if we look down there at ball speed, 152.8 on an average off the club face, spinning it at an average of 2,292 revs. So pretty much where I would be with my TSI 3. Peaking out 36 yards high on an average carry of 270. So some fantastic numbers for me personally from those numbers. And what I would say is the numbers that we're seeing off quad are actually slightly different to what I was getting off TrackMan, which if you've been on either of those machines, you'll know that there are differences in certainly their carry distances. If we then move up to the hazardous shaft, we've got 153.8 off the club face, which is just about 1 mile an hour quicker off the face. The spin numbers on that are 2,285 revs, which is, you know, pretty much there or thereabouts, the same as what I was getting out of the Tensei. Peaking out about the same at an average of 35 yards high, and then 269. So really nothing in it. The only difference between the two of them is at 14.4 average off the face, so launch angle off the face, with the Tensei compared to 13.7, so slightly lower out of that hazardous. If we then move into the graphite design, the UB, we're getting 154.9 off the face, so just getting out there just a little hotter off the face. If we look at launch angles there, 14.3, so basically the same as what I'm getting out of the Tensei. And then spin, 2,198 revs on an average, peaking out 35 yards high, and then 275 average carry with that shaft. Now, again, the only thing difference there is obviously the ball speed is slightly up in comparison there. But you can see with with all 3 shafts there, that there's not a great deal in it. I'm getting pretty much the same spin. I'm getting pretty much the same peak heights. Launches are just differing just slightly. The Tensei being closer to the UB, the graphite design there, and then just that little bit difference in ball speed. And for me personally, looking at those numbers, I would say that I should now stick with the graphite design certainly at the beginning here. For me personally, I'm looking to go for this winter. I'm looking to try and get out and play just a little bit more. I just want to lose a little bit of weight and then maybe gain a little bit more in muscle, so I can get a little bit more clubhead speed out of my driver, and certainly running right the way through my bag. But for now, I think because of the fitting process that we went through at Woburn and then the numbers that I'm getting back here at the studio, I think the right thing to do is to stick with that graphite design. However, knowing the comfort that I've got 2 other shafts there that I'm super confident with, that I know can work for my game anyway. So I think the combination of that head with a little bit more spin out of it compared to possibly what I was getting out of my TSI 3, and now the stability of those shafts, hopefully that should give me confidence moving forward with my driving. I'd like to hear what you think about that video. I'd like to hear what you thought about my experience at Woburn. Just remember, if you haven't seen that video that we put out before, which talked about my actual fitting into the TSR2, then make sure you head over and watch that. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all again very soon.